Hello, everyone. This is Crypto Gordon Freeman, the free man, helping to bring you from the darkness into the light through the power of the crypto revolution. So, how you doing? Yeah, I'm going to leave the screen up right now. There's big stuff happening with Steam again. It looks pretty silly and small compared to this thing it did the other day. So let's help it along here. Look a little more significant. Yeah, now it looks like a big deal. I mean, 20% is a big deal, but it's coming back up from the big drop it's been doing since Justin Sun screwed up all that stuff. Anyway, why am I here? Who is this? So this is just like a introduction video thing. Hello. Basically, just want to introduce myself. I've been trading for a few years, day trading, and you know the market as I know the market. The longer you've been in it, the more you understand the significance of a 98% drop. But there's a lot of lessons to be learned and what makes for a good coin and not so much. And just inspired by, I found, everybody's going through the coronavirus thing and learning a lot about how people think and dealing with isolation. And at the same time, there's this interesting overlap with the crypto Twitter folks that I'm sure, people on Discord seem to be different than people on Telegram, seem to be different than people on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Where people gather tends to have a lot to do with the way that the mood of the conversation goes. And I created my most recent account on Twitter, just kind of focus on writing like satire, kind of poking fun at things that the crypto world understands and appreciates. And then things got very serious. And I've been backing off of things that seem maybe a little bit less significant compared to, is the world going to end today? Or is it going to be tomorrow? Is the financial system going to collapse? Is it going to do all those things that people think it's going to do? Well, to let you know a little bit about myself, I do actually come from the arts community and from the audio engineering and audio software profession background. I've done a lot of different things. I've spent several years in marketing doing copywriting, and I still do. But I tend to be an analysis kind of guy, a technical analysis, not just in crypto. For many years, I've studied historical economic trends, and not one of these guys where I'm in finance. It's not about, do you believe in, this philosophy versus that philosophy, but just really studying the rise and fall of civilizations and the way that the money goes with those. Crossovers in belief and religion and sociology and social engineering, and a lot of bad things that have happened through history and the attempts to control people. And I see some dramatic, major things happening in the world, and people get very caught up in, is it the Bilderbergs? They're going to get us, and is it the Masons, and is it, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, J.P. Morgan, all this stuff. And it's not wrong. There is actually an Illuminati, and, is it the hip hop Illuminati or is it the other one? But I'm just, I'm not going to get sidetracked on all the different stuff, just to say that I've studied things before crypto was the thing that it is, and saw people in the early days talking more and more about how in an open form of finance where everything is trackable and viewable and traceable, and you can, they were describing blockchain before it was blockchain. And I sat out of a lot of it because Bitcoin did not actually make the sense of it becoming the thing that it became in a time where they were trying out things that seemed to be working like PayPal, things that seemed to be working by, you needed a platform where there was trust, but it was kind of like the right people hadn't quite grown into it yet. It really was that, BitTorrent, Napster kind of generation that was the gap between serious finance and, hey, let's do something new. Let's make better money. And a lot of people say that 2008 was the catalyst but the people that are at the core of what happened with Bitcoin seem to think that it was really just, we need to make better money and here's a way we could do it. And, whether they were thinking of, secure private online gambling, or whether they were just, there was a kind of a libertarian vein to it, but I really think that hopped on it even a couple of years after. But people that are naturally skeptical, people that are naturally, I don't know, I don't trust me, no government or banks or, central banks are the devil. It's not all wrong. But there are different planes to what we're dealing with, and it's more complex than what I see most people saying. So my hope here is to go through all of the crypto stuff, keep it interesting. I'm going to force myself to try to keep things short and break it up and maybe do multiple videos and keep writing on Publish OX. I am not doing AdSense. I'm not going to try to build up 1 million subscribers and earn through Google. I would rather keep it crypto, keep crypto. If anybody starts following me in multiple dimensions, audio and video, as opposed to just reading stuff, which granted, keep reading. Reading gets to a part of the brain that's different than all the looky and the heary of the things. But I'm hoping to, I don't want to start wars with people. I don't want to, stay up at night being frustrated by that thing that person that I've never met said. But I do want to challenge you to think about things different than maybe where you're coming from. And I promise to do the same in the process, looking to feel a sense of going through this thing together. And am I a crypto expert? I think that I could maybe classify in the thought leader category. I mean, do you really want to trust a video game? Okay, it's an alter ego thing. The irony is that Crypto Gordon Freeman, in the video games, Half-Life, Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2, et cetera, he never talks. And so I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm a little bit of a talker. Yeah. So my joke is that the reason he never talks in the game is because he was too busy talking and writing everywhere else. So that's kind of that thing. But yeah, I have absolutely no problem with actually being seen. The main thing for me is a little bit of anonymity goes a long way because I do a lot of business and other things. Been fairly well known, maybe somebody could say famous behind the scenes for a while in some things. So that's nice. But really the main thing is just I really get distracted. I think, I grew up my entire life where we had phones, and you're not looking at the other end of the phone. And so this is a whole new thing for me, all the smartphones and all the crazy people and the laptops and the video conferencing. And I'm not, against it. I'm not scared of my, oh my gosh, people are going to see my face. Huh? But I find it very distracting. And I'd rather stay in the moment, stay in the conversation than to be thinking about, being distracted by stuff. That's it. So this is who I am. This is what I do. I'm going to go through a lot of technical analysis, a lot of fundamental analysis. We're going to learn some things about why I don't do Fibonacci and draw triangles on screens. I'm not against anybody that does that. There is validity to every single way of handling this stuff. But I am here to bring you something different. And as far as the trading part of things, I'm going on my 3rd year. I've always been interested in it. The truth is that through thousands and thousands of hours of audio visual analysis, I've created audio software, and I'm pretty comfortable in saying that on the planet of people that are alive right now, nobody has looked at more waveforms than myself. I've recorded through all of the most expensive audio hardware in the world, and I've beat all of the bigger competition at double-blind listening tests. So the fascinating thing is the reason I'm really good at trading is because the audio waveforms tend to move in similar patterns and oscillations to trading. And I recognized patterns that were unusually similar in the way that they play out over time, and realized that some of the thinking is that we listen for things that have a something built into our nature that we look for things that have momentum and patterns to them that are fairly similar. And so people's FUD and FOMO response to what the whales move and drag us around doing, that we tend to respond in ways that are very similar. So my accuracy, even when I was just learning, was very high, but learned the hard way that lots of good coins can go down 98%, and that's not fun. So there's been a lot of stopping and starting. 2020 has been a rough year. Started from very encouraged towards the start. I'm going to talk about that more in the next video. I'm going to break this down. But then going into February, had my money stolen, worked really hard, mentally and emotionally challenged the team that was screwing up their exchange to give money back. And that worked for about 350 other people, including myself, before they stopped doing that. So in getting the funds back, I kind of in some ways got my life back, just in time to get hit by a coronavirus. Not me personally, the world. So my health is good. Praise the Lord. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. Got to start from scratch, but truly I'm not impressed with any of the exchanges. I think the ones that we need are coming up. So I've been working new strategies again. Thank goodness we have our funds to work with. And I'm just kind of here to go through the journey with you. I hope that we'll cover some satire stuff and have some fun and laugh. I'm hoping that I can have some interesting, challenging conversations with people, as long as they don't mind looking at, basically a video game face so that I can think and listen. But yeah, I like, the more deep discussion about the world and the way it goes, the politics of crypto, the economics of crypto, why some of the things that most people say and think are wrong. Not that I, want to bunt heads, but I do want to make points that at least include the other angles and the other perspectives, things that may be getting left out. And we should make this thing interesting. Hopefully, this virus goes away and some people get their jobs back. And we don't just have one massive lending and borrowing and businesses closing. But I think that we're going to see a very tough year ahead. But it doesn't mean that crypto can't do this thing. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 6,900. And that's pretty remarkable that it held through at 5,400 while stocks crashed. They hit the halt 4 times in a row. Never happened. Just completely unprecedented. So I'm going to stop yapping. This is my introduction video. I've gone all over the place, and I've tried this a few times to try to cut it down. I don't know if I'm doing a good job of that or not, but it's good to meet you. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you will be interested in us getting to know each other through the videos and crypto Twitter et al. And thanks for listening. Thanks for, being around. I do, I care about the crypto community, and I'm going to try to be present some on Periscope, crypto Twitter and Twitch and YouTube, and see how that goes. And then just, tipping if you feel it's something worthy of support through Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin. And I'm basically just going to make that part of the goal to accelerate the trading process. We're not working with a lot, but we're doing a very effective job. So, if I'm teaching some people how to do the same thing and we're earning a little bit along the way, then that would be really cool. So, thanks for taking the time. This is Crypto Gordon Freeman out.